Welcome, UCL fans, to our Season 2 Week 5 preview. I'm your host, NintendoFanatic64, and we're here to take a look at all the 8 matches that will be taking place tomorrow on Saturday, August 13th. If you do enjoy this video, please leave it a thumbs up, and let me know down in the comment section below what teams you're rooting for, as well as like the matchups you're looking forward to, or even make your own predictions on who's going to win or lose this weekend. So, we're all these matchups. Now, I don't know in what order they will be released tomorrow. This is just the order I'm going with based upon like looking on the official UCL Twitter, which is linked down in the description, and just going in an order for that, and of course separating out what our hype match of the week will be. So, with our first match, we have the Bristol City Blazekins taking on the Bronx Bearticks. Bristol City, of course, coming off of what I believe is a huge upset victory over the St. Louis Rampardos, and the Bronx Bearticks, of course, coming off their first loss from the Real Maril. Now, normally this match I would say would be, more favorable for the Bronx Bearticks, but due to the upset that Bristol City got last week, it could go either way with it. They could ride this momentum in and take down another huge team with the force that the Bronx Bearticks have. With it, I would still say slight edge probably in favor of the Bronx Bearticks just due to the battling experience of Joey Pokeyame MD, but Coach Gameboy Luke from the Bristol City Blazekins, he pulled out a miracle last week. Maybe he'll do another miracle this week for it. So, definitely going to be an exciting match. Cannot wait to see this match actually take place tomorrow. Moving on to our second match, we have the Long Island Reggie Rockies, who are 1-3, taking on the South Beach Slow Kings, who are 0-4. Gotta give the slight edge in this one to the Long Island Reggie Rockies. Of course, Coach Nips is probably one of the better battler between the two of them. Has competed in multiple seasons of the GBA as well as the UCL, of course. He has done really well. Of course, David, the South Beach Slow Kings coach, not the greatest in Wi-Fi battling. Forfeited at the end of last week's match, and of course had internet issues the week prior to that. So for the last 2 weeks, hasn't actually gone ahead and finished the battle. If you saw his perspective from last week, he seemed rather down about it. Hopefully, though, he comes back better attitude with it, ready to take on the Long Island Reggie Rockies. Slight favor, like I said, for the Reggie Rockies, but match could go either way for it. So it'll definitely be a good one to watch as well. In our third match, we have the Newcastle Needle Kings, who are 2-2, taking on the the Tucson Terrakians, who are 3-1. Of course, Coach Patters from the Newcastle Needle Kings has had now 2 losses in a row, but has gone up against some of the big teams out there. So definitely no surprise in the losses for it, but coach of the Tucson Terrakians, the King Nappy, has, of course, only had the 1 loss, which was, of course, to the St. Louis Rampardos and Coach A-Drive. But definitely, it's going to be a real close one. The Newcastle New Kings have done really well in the past, have a good chance at winning. Tucson Terrakians definitely also have a good chance at winning. They practically swept the South Beach Slow Kings last week. So this one, I'm not going to try and put like a favorite on this one of who would probably win, just because both teams are doing so well this season right now, and it could go either way in all honesty. So Newcastle could end up coming out with a win as long as they don't make the silly mistakes that have been made in the past, such as like in week 3 when they sent out Mega Deontay and it died to I think it was like an Iron Head from the Kieran Black right away, or the week after or the week before that, sent it out turn 1 and it died to a Hidden Power Steel. So as long as they don't make those types of mistakes, they should be good to go. In week 4, we have match 4, rather, we have the Grand Canyon Greninjas at 1-3, taking on the Carolina Keldios, who are 2-2. Both teams' coaches, of course, Twit from the Grand Canyon Greninjas and JYT Gamer from the Carolina Keldios are both, not known for doing Wi-Fi battles too often. They primarily do it for the UCL, so don't have a whole lot of experience. Just looking at the individual teams themselves, I would try to give a slight edge to the Grand Canyon Greninjas, who, if you missed last week's battle, is definitely worth a watch. Go check it out. Came down to the wire for it. So their battling style has definitely improved. The Carolina Keldios have also done well, though, of course, as their record shows, at 2-2. Grand Canyon Greninjas coach Twit, like I said, if he can focus and pay attention to the timer, there's a good chance that he can pull out the win and start getting on a winning streak going on for the rest of the season. But everything is yet to be seen, so we'll just have to kind of wait and see how things go with that. Again, too close to call, can't really predict any type of winner. Moving on to our fifth match, we have the Tulsa Talonflames, who are 1-3, taking on the Pittsburgh Peaches, who are 3-1. Definitely kind of a favoritive match for the Pittsburgh Peaches, as the lot of coaches, like the between like I think PK Sparks, the coach of the Philadelphia Alligators. I know the King Nappy, coach of Tucson Terrakians, have all gotten help from Num Nexus, who of course is the coach of the Pittsburgh Peaches as far as like their team building goes. And so he does really well when it comes to like team battling. I know he's done a lot more battles on stuff like Smogon, I think, more than the actual Wi-Fi battles, but these are not that different from that. Coach of the Tulsa Town Flames, Kristen, aka Cuddle of Death, can definitely, do well in this matchup. It's hard to say. It's just the lack of experience that can end up costing her in the end. So, favorite, like the odds-on favorite probably will go to Pittsburgh Peaches just due to the, the battling experience, if you will, of Num Nexus and, versus Kristen Cuddle of Death. But best of luck to both of them for it. In our sixth match this week, we have the Toronto Tokakiss, who are 2-2, taking on the Philadelphia Alligators, who are 0-4 right now. Coach PK Sparks is, trying to fish for that win. But regardless, he's finally decided he's not going to take these two seriously anymore. He's just here to have fun, as well as he should. These are all just for fun. I mean, this is semi-competitive, as they would all say, but I mean, it's all for fun and entertainment, and that's what we're here to watch anyway for it. Of course, this week is going to be a real tough week going up against the Toronto Tokakiss coach, the Heated Mo, the Hacks God himself, and might even bring some of those hacksy ways with him this week as well. Philadelphia does have a decent team. I know it doesn't, on paper, it might not be the greatest team out there, lacking a mega and things like that on it, but I think that they still have a chance, to pull out a few wins. They just have to, find the right team composition for it. So far, I think one thing that he hasn't done yet that might be a good thing to do would be to bring both Alligator and Milotic. Milotic being more defensive and Alligator being more offensive. I know they're both water types and have the same weaknesses, but there's ways to counteract all those things as well. So, good luck, and hopefully, the Gators might get their first win. Otherwise, Toronto will continue on in their ways with it. Moving on to our seventh match, we have the St. Louis Rampardos versus the Manchester Magnazones. Definitely going to be an interesting matchup. St. Louis Rampardos lost in the last 2 weeks now, so going down to a 2-2 record, already going to have a worse record than they had in Season 1, because in Season 1, of course, I believe that they were 14-1, so only losing one match. Now they have lost 2 matches. That's not to say that they're, in any danger of not making playoffs or anything like that. I know it's only Week 5. There's still plenty of room for improvement for all these teams as well. But going up against the Manchester Magnazones, who are actually being more impressive this season versus in Season 1, are currently now 2-2, which is already a better record than they had in Season 1, where they did not win a single match. If anything, hopefully Coach Fanatax has learned that in his last 2 battles, once he gets 3 combines up on Megaladios, his opponents will DC on it, because that's what ended up happening 2 weeks ago against David, and of course last week with was it PK? PK ended up forfeiting because there was no way he could win. St. Louis Rampardos, I'm sure Dan, aka A Drive, will have a plan for it. I'm sure he's been watching all the matches as well, seeing that he likes to set up a combine Latias and sweep teams with it. So I'm sure that there'll be some way to stop that from happening, or even find something that he can bring in to maybe he'll bring Ditto with him so he can actually copy the stats of the Mega Latias and end up sweeping himself for it. So we'll just have to wait and see. Good luck to Fanatax from the Manchester Magnazones, because he is going up against one of the biggest teams this season in the St. Louis Rampardos and Coach A Drive. finally, we're moving on to our hype match of the week. The hype match of the week was really kind of a tough one to call on it because I kind of wanted to do the St. Louis Rampardos and the Manchester Magnazones for it, but I figured this time we had to go with the Real Madrid, currently the only undefeated team out there with 4-0, taking on the Durham Druttiguns. The reason why I'm putting this as our hype match of the week, so far neither of these teams have, of course, met in the UCL. The Durham Druttiguns 3-1 right now. Definitely, they had, I think, I can't remember who was they lost to. I want to say it was either I can't remember who it was that they had lost to previously on it, but all in all, the Durham Druttiguns known for kind of that bulkier sets, to very big, defense and not putting on, like, they have offense on their team, but they usually slow down their opponents with a lot of defense. But the battling experience given to Miguel, coach of the Real Madrid, definitely is going to be on point. I'm sure he will be able to take on anything with the defensive wall. He's got a lot of wall breakers with him that he can go through on it. Durham Druttiguns coach, 6 foot hacks, aka Leo, will definitely be in for the fight of his UCL matchups this week. It's going to be really close to call. I would give probably slight advantage to Miguel from the Real Madrid just due to the battling experience that he brings to the table for it. But we'll just have to wait and see how this goes down this weekend, which, of course, tomorrow, I should say, for it. So if you do enjoy, I do hope you go and check out all the matches yourself. And don't forget, we'll be back on Tuesday with our review and rankings video again. I know I've been kind of slacking. I haven't been putting up the top 5 moments lately. I've just been having a lot of stuff going down. I'm going to try and get some of those done and probably release them either over the weekend or early next week and different things like that. But thank you all very much for those who have watched all the way through with this. Like I said, let me know down below what matchups you're looking forward to, as well as give me your predictions for who you think is going to win this week. A lot of good close-up matches. You kind of heard my predictions on it, so let me hear yours now. And don't forget to subscribe, where I do release these videos every Friday for the previews and Tuesday for the reviews and rankings. But thank you all very much for watching. You all have yourselves a good day. Take care and goodbye.